Hi, everyone. Happy December 14th. We're really in the thick of it. And this time of year inspired me to say a little bit about what might be going on for some people and just some thoughts I've had. So on the forum in the Little School of Big Change this week, we had some discussion about how we're so bombarded with all of these different ways of coping. You turn on any morning television show or open up any web browser, you're going to see all kinds of things like how to have more energy this season, how to spend less money, how to enjoy holiday parties more, or maybe how to sneak out of holiday parties earlier, how to not go to holiday parties if you don't want to. There's so many things aimed at helping us cope with this season. And we were talking about that on the forum, and then someone said, it's just so interesting. If you tell any child practically in the world that you need help coping with the holidays, they would look at you like you have three heads. And they would. They would, right? We would have when we were children. And it's, this is a time for many people, and not for everyone, but it is a time largely of gathering and giving and receiving and celebrating. And children tend to feel that. They are in the moment, in life, as this stuff is happening around them. And they have this amazing ability to be there, present in the moment, soaking it up and just taking it for what it is. And this is a time of gathering and celebrating and giving and receiving for adults as well. And many adults that I know, that we all know, spend a lot of time, especially around this time of year, worrying and planning and setting expectations for ourselves and feeling stressed out and feeling exhausted and overwhelmed and doing things that we say we don't want to do. And I just really want to start to shake this loose, kind of flip the paradigm here for why that is. Because I'm guessing that I'm not alone in this. I grew up hearing, you have it good. You just get to play all day, and you wait till you grow up and have bills to pay. You wait till you grow up and have responsibility. And I'm so grateful that I have this as such a vivid memory, that I remember being a young child, and that made absolutely no sense to me. I remember thinking, and I'm not gifted in this sense. I just thought like a little kid, and I talk to my kids and they see it the same way. I've asked them. And I remember though being a young kid and saying, yeah, but that doesn't really add up. Like, okay, so maybe adults all have to go to work, but you could be happy at work, couldn't you? Like you could have a little moment at work where you have some joy. You could make a joke. You could do, just as a little, not very smart little kid, that looked so clear. And I remember thinking, yeah, but Mom, Dad, like sometimes you vacuum the house and you whistle a little bit, or you have a little smirk on your face. And a lot of times you vacuum the house and you have a scowl on your face, and you're thinking or talking about all the things you have to do next and how hard it is to be an adult. And that little thing in my little kid head, it just didn't add up. And I just knew, it isn't that. It isn't the vacuuming. It isn't the bills. It isn't that stuff. Like there's got to be something in us that can come out, because again, as children, we feel it. And as children this time of year with so much going on, it's like permission, and they don't need permission, but it's like everything's at them, and their wellness just bubbles to the surface, and their excitement just bubbles to the surface. And for a lot of adults, it does too. I'm not saying this is a strictly kid or adult thing, but I really want to start to see, it has nothing, meaning the stress or the heaviness or the loneliness or whatever it is that we might be feeling this time of year that's anything other than how the kids are feeling, has nothing to do with you being a responsible adult. It has nothing to do with expectations that someone has for you. Nothing. It has nothing to do with the fact that you have to spend a bunch of money, or that you have to go to a bunch of holiday parties that you don't want to go to and hang around people that maybe you don't think you like. It has nothing to do with that. Just like you can vacuum and whistle, there is a place in all of us that kids are just tapped into. And that's why they have this childlike wonder all the time, year round. And that is something you cannot possibly outgrow. It has nothing in the world to do with age or circumstances or anything else. And I know it's so easy to look at it and say, yeah, it does. And I just want you to start to flip that. I just want to shake that a little bit loose and say, but what if it doesn't? But what if we're wrong about that? The earth looks flat and it's not. Turns out it isn't. What if we're wrong about this too? And again, the what if we're wrong question just starts to point us in another direction. It's that simple. It doesn't mean, no, you're wrong. Actually, that place is in you. And now you're wrong for not feeling it more often. There's absolutely nothing to do with right or wrong or shame or guilt or blame in any of this. It's just to say, what if that childlike feeling is alive and well in me? And what if the only thing ever holding me back from it this season or any day of the year is that I'm thinking a bunch of stuff and I'm taking my thinking as truth, and that's drowning out this feeling. That's it. It's that simple. What if my mind is creating habitually? You're not even doing it. It's just moving through you, worry and thinking, and this is next, and what happens tomorrow at 7:00. And, that's my life too right now. And our minds can go there, and we can get really caught up in that and really myopic, and that's like all we see. And when that's the case, it's not so fun. And kids aren't there. Not because they're not in charge of all the responsibilities. Now, don't go there with it, because that's the illusion. That's the misunderstanding. It's simply because they aren't there. They're back here in the happiness. They're in the peace. They're in the excitement. And their minds go to worry. It does for my kids, at least. They have things, especially kids now. There's a lot going on in their lives. And their mind might go there, but they haven't yet gotten this silly mental habit of hanging out in that and thinking that that's important. They just haven't. So they go there and they feel it, and then they come back to the moment. And that's all it takes. That is literally the only thing standing in between an experience that a child has right now and an experience that you or I might have. That's it. So I just want you to consider that. Again, you might not feel childlike. You might not bounce through every moment of this holiday season like children do, and that is perfectly okay. But if you can not worry about that so much either, if you can just know, okay, I got a lot on my mind. I'm just not feeling this, but it's there. I just might not be feeling it the way they are, or I'm a little out of practice of easing into that. Hey, you'll be in a way better situation than without that question, than without considering it this way. So I just want to toss that out for you to consider, and just see what you discover. See if doing the things you most dread or you are least excited about, if you can just touch for a minute that little place in you, because I promise you it's there. And even just looking in that direction is going to make things better. So I hope this is helpful. Thank you so much for listening. And I really hope that everyone is well, and that you have a nice holiday.